Hey everybody, it's Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and today we're taking a look at the expansion for the game The Axe called Letters from Rome. If you want to see our full review of this, you can click the link in the video description. We'll talk about what we think about the game. We won't go into components too much because this is a prototype. Otherwise, let's stay here and see how this expansion works. So, to set up, you're basically going to set up the game like normal. And you can check out a video of our review of Axe. We have one of those. I'll link to it. You're going to set up this board. This is the Axe board, like normal. With then you're going to add the Letters from Rome board off to the side. Now I have a prototype, so it's a different size. I also don't have the deluxe version, and this is made to link up with the deluxe version, so there is that as well. And then when you set that up, you're going to shuffle the cards, and you're going to flip 4 of the epistle cards. Each player is going to put one of their discs on the first base of the corruption track, and you're going to set up this preaching section according to the grid here. And then each player is going to start with 1 coin, and someone will get the first player marker. Okay, so that's the only difference in setup. You're also going to have the coins and the enlarged church cubes off to the side. Now, I'm not going to really talk about how the game plays. You can watch our other video for that. I'm just going to kind of tell you, I'll take actions to kind of show you how this section of the board works. So, this is a worker placement game. We're going to be going to these different locations here. We have praying, discipleship, building churches, writing, miracles, preaching, and traveling. Those are the gist of the spaces. And eventually, as we build churches, we're going to earn tithe, which is how we're going to get money. And if we have money left over, we're going to get greedy, and that could cause us to have some corruption, which will make us lose followers. The scoring track is followers of Jesus. We're spreading the word of Jesus here. And you're trying in this game, the expansion in a 2-player game, whoever reaches 115 points first is the winner. That's a little bit different. It's usually 85 in a 2-player game with the base game, but there's more ways to score points, so that's amped up. All right, so let's go ahead and play through the round. Now, the way the game works is on your turn, starting with the first player, you're going to move one of your people from any of the locations that they are. We're all starting in Judea at the beginning and take an action. All the action spaces can only hold 1 person except for praying. It's unlimited, okay? So let's go ahead and go. So red is first. They're actually going to take their worker. They're going to go preach. When you preach, you can see kind of right here, add believers 1 greater than the number of discs. There are 3 discs, so they will get 4 believers. And then one of the discs, if it's white, comes over here to praying, makes praying more valuable. If it's brown, which looks like this, it'll be removed from the game. Okay? And that's their turn. Done. There's no difference. Oh, one more thing. The expansion gives you coins. They don't have anything to do with 1 coin. So when they're preaching, they're also going to spend a coin, and that will let them increase their believers by 1. Or you can spend 2 coins to increase your believers by 2. You're feeding the poor, basically, is what it says in the book. So that's an additional step. The base game does not have the feeding. This has the feeding. All right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give this player 2 coins because I want to show you what happens here. Blue's turn. What they're going to do is they're going to spend 2 coins because they want to get over here in the Italy board to get some stuff. So, normally when you travel, this player's going to travel, you just go to one of these empty spaces, okay? And if there's a number on it, you have to pay that many prayer tokens, which are these. But in the expansion, you pay 2 coins, you come over here, and you're traveling to Italy. Basically, this is effectively the same thing as going here, but you're coming over here. Then at the beginning of the next turn, you'll slide up into this box, and you can start taking actions in Italy, and we'll get to that, okay? Because I want to show you all that. Now, it's red's turn. That was their whole turn. That was blue's whole turn. Now it's red's turn again. They're going to pray. So they're going to come over here, and they're going to pray. Praying is gain prayer points 1 greater than the number of discs, or spend 2 prayer points to draw a card. They don't have to. But in the expansion, you can also spend 2 prayer points to move down in corruption. Because say this player was up here, they're going to start losing believers at the end of every round, so you want to move down, okay? So that's another thing you can do that's different is spending the corruption. But instead, they're going to just take prayer points. So there's 1 disc, so they get 2 prayer points. It's always 1 plus however many discs. That's their turn. Now it's blue's turn. Blue wants to play a miracle card. So they're going to go here. And they want to play this. So they're going to play this card. It costs 0 prayer points, has a 0, but they're going to remove this worker, and they're going, the disciple, they're going to get 7 believers. Believers are points, but thematically you're converting, and they're going to gain 3 prayer points. All right, so that's sweet. They have a lot of prayer points now. Now it's Red's turn. They're going to go ahead and travel to here. Blue's turn. They want to build a church. So when you build a church, it's going to cost 3 prayer points plus 1 prayer point for every other church you have. They don't have any churches, so the first church is just 3. Then you're going to gain 2 believers. So 1, 2. And it's going to add to your preaching. Now, in the base game, it adds to your preaching and praying, but in this one, it adds to preaching because you can also enlarge your church, which takes 2 coins. You can put this under your cube here. So if I built my church, later on I could put this on there. It counts as 2 churches now effectively, and it's going to then be able to increase my praying by 1. But right now, just preaching. In a 2-player game, there can only be number of players minus 1 churches in each region, and no matter the number of players, there can only ever be 1 enlarged church. Okay, so that's that. Back to Red. I think Red's going to do a lot of traveling this time, so they want to go here. They'll travel there, and then Blue, they're just going to write. Add believers equal to your churches and gain 1 prayer point, or add believers equal to your churches plus 1. I'm going to add believers equal to my churches plus 1, so I'll get 2 believers. Red again. And they're going to play a miracle card. Actually, they're going to spend 2, and they're going to take a spiritual blessing card, which is basically a power that they're going to have for the rest of the game. That one's out. So when writing, they gain 1 additional prayer point. So if they would have done what Blue did, instead of getting 2 points, they would have gotten 3, which is pretty cool. All right, then it's Blue's turn again. They want to travel. So they're going to go here, but they have to spend a prayer point for that because it has a 1 on it. Then it's Red's turn. Red will pray. That'll give them 2 prayer points. And then I think Blue is going to pray. And again, that doesn't add to their praying because there is, oops, I gave those other ones to Blue. The no enlarged church. All right, so that's the end of the round. Now we're going to show you, this round I'm going to show you how Italy works and the big change here, and then we'll probably be done. So what happens is you're going to travel. First off, whoever has money left over at the end of the round gets a corruption, any money. So you would move that token up. Neither one of us have money, that's good. Then you're going to get 1 coin plus 1 coin for every 2 churches that you have. It's a tithe from the church. Blue only has 1, so they don't get any additional coins. Then whoever has the least amount of believers becomes first player. So in this case, it's Red still. Okay. Then we will set up. So we slide everybody up into the boxes in their territory. So this one will travel to here. This one will travel to here. This one will travel to here. And all of these, whoops, will just come back into this box and take actions in Judea. Okay? So now it's Red's turn. They're going to go ahead and, can they do a church? They can do a church. So they're going to come over here and they're going to build a church in Galatia. That cost them 3. Gives them 2 believers, and they now have a church in Galatia. All right, that's Blue's turn. Now, Blue's in Italy, or Italia. They have the same options as every other space on the board, with one new exception, which is the one I'm going to highlight, and that is the epistles. So you can either do all the normal actions down here, so preach, and then the prayer disc could go down here and all that kind of thing. Or you can come down here onto an epistle. Now, why do you want to do that? Let's look at these cards. These cards are going to have a Bible verse for theme purposes. They're going to have 1, 2, 3, or 4 possible icons here, which are New Testament themes, okay? Then they're going to have a special ability at the end of the round. Instead of going back to your box from that city, you're going to go, or from that place, you're going to go to where this says. So if I went to this card, I would go to Asia at the end of the round, but I would gain 1 follower. This would send me to Asia, I get 2 prayer points. This would send me to Asia, I would get a spiritual gift, or I could take back one of my blessing cards and get 2 prayer points. This one will let me build a church, I believe. What is that symbol? Church in the region, yes. But then you got to go back. So if this player, let's just say that's what they're going to do. So it's their turn. They're going to come in here. They're going to mark an epistle. And they want to take this one. Now, when they're at the end of the round, they're going to get all this stuff. Then their character is going to go to Asia, which is here. Okay? So they're basically traveling. It's hard to get over here. It's hard to stay over here unless you're doing the basic actions. Then at the end of the game, you're going to score points for all the New Testament themes that you have. So look, this card's worth 4. Has 4 different themes. So they would basically need this card, and they would have all 6 themes. If you can get all 6 themes, every theme is worth 12 points. If you don't have all 6, then every theme is worth a point. And I'm not sure if you can score each theme multiple times. I think it's just one and done. But you're trying to get all 6 because that's going to score you some extra believers at the end of the game. Okay, so that's what that player did. Then red will do their thing. Back to this end of the round. Blue takes their worker, sends their worker to Asia. They take this card. They're going to get what's on the bottom, which is they either get a spiritual gift or they can refresh one of these cards. So in this case, they could take this one back, which is what they'll do, and they will get 2 prayer points. And that's that. Other than that, and then you'd refill, keep going, pay the tithe, make sure there's no corruption and all that stuff. Other than that, the game is exactly the same. This game plays the same way. You're just adding this Italia board to get epistles, use coins, and hopefully enlarge your church as you're moving on. So your church also helps in the prayer action. So that is how you play the Axe with the Letters from Rome expansion. Again, if you want to see our full review/preview, you can click the link in the video description. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and as always, keep gaming.